This video is supported by patrons like you. If you'd like to become a patron, please head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. One of the things that I think is tough for people to admit is when they like something that a lot of other people don't like. And I'll be the first to admit, I'll be the first to say, no problem here. No shame whatsoever. I love Solo. I do. I think the movie's fantastic, and I think it got a poor shake at the box office, and unfortunately it derailed Disney's plans for Star Wars moving forward, and who knows what the future is going to bring. But one of the things about the movie that I do know is that it flopped. I mean, it flopped real hard. We can see here from the newly redesigned Box Office Mojo that it had a worldwide take-home of $392 million. That's it, $392 million with a $275 million budget. There's no way this movie was going to turn a profit for Disney unless it, I don't know, hit $1 billion or something. But apparently, even though audiences and fans seem to overall enjoy the movie more than not, there is one person out there that I think was a little bit salty, not too pleased with it, not too happy with it. And that, of course, is its writer, Lawrence Kasdan. Now, if you don't know Lawrence Kasdan's work, you really should. To give you a quick history, he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark. He wrote Empire Strikes Back, as well as Return of the Jedi. And he co-wrote The Force Awakens with J.J. Abrams. This dude has been in Star Wars and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg's life for decades. So he gets it. He fundamentally gets it. But apparently he wasn't too thrilled with the way the movie turned out, because according to him, he says that the studio blew it. Now, Lawrence Kasdan is towards the end of his career, right? The dude's clearly up there in age from what we saw. So I understand that he's not going to mince words right now. And I don't think he should. I don't think he should at all. To be fair, I think the studio did blow it. But here's what he says. It says, in a recent appearance at the Austin Film Festival, the writer of Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back appeared to claim that his final entry into the galaxy far away faltered because of problems at the studio level. After helping out with the script to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Kasdan apparently only agreed to write Solo, a Star Wars story, if he could do it with his son, Jonathan. It seems that the father and the son writers had no issue with the film, but Lawrence Kasdan said that after the script left their hands, problems ensued. And in his words here, the studio blew it. But that's not unusual. And the truth of the matter is, he's not wrong on that front. The studio is to blame for all of these problems. I mean, it really did. We know about this because we can kind of point the blame at Kathleen Kennedy. We can point the blame at Kathleen Kennedy, and I think she's taken responsibility for this ultimately. But all things considered, Solo should have been a much bigger success. When they released this first photo in 2017, indicating that the movie was in production, that Alden Ehrenreich was playing Han Solo, that Emilia Clarke was Kira, there's there's Chewbacca, and there's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who plays L7, and of course Woody Harrelson and Phil Lord and Chris Miller. This image gave me, as a Star Wars fan, a lot of hope, because I love Phil Lord and Chris Miller as writers and directors, and I really want to see their version of the movie. I want to see how this should have turned out, because what we got is a movie that I do love. It is a movie that I do adore, and it's a movie that I've watched multiple times and will continue to watch multiple times, but it is also lacking in an area where I feel it could have had a lot of potential if its true vision would have been seen. So instead of looking at headlines like this that says Solo is officially the first Star Wars movie flop, we could sit there and talk about how cool the movie was, how great Donald Glover was as Lando, how awesome it was to see this story come together, and how much more we're looking forward to the future of the franchise. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And according to Lawrence Kasdan, it's because the studio, i.e. Kathleen Kennedy, blew it. So with any luck, we'll find out some more coming into this potential Disney Plus series that's been rumored. But I'm glad to see that Kasdan is not mincing words. I'm glad to see that he's coming out and he's saying, no, the studio blew it, but it's not unusual, because it's something that needs to be said. I think more often than not, actors and people who work in the industry fail to talk about the shortcomings of certain projects because they don't want to feel or appear like they're ungrateful. And they're always usually marketing something. So if they start bad mouthing it, even after the fact, it does compromise what they're currently working on. But I think audiences are okay with them admitting that some movies are bad. You know, I think audiences are okay with them admitting that some projects just didn't live up to the expectations that fans had or even the creators had. There's nothing wrong with that. I have made tons of videos on this on YouTube that some have felt were really good. Others I've like, that's terrible, but I'm putting it out anyway. And people will let me know. Creators create. The audience responds. The audience reacts, all those things. But at the end of the day, the creative types should be allowed to admit publicly when they've made a mistake. I think that would further instill confidence with the public, with the fans. Because if the fans hear that maybe the movie didn't end up being up to the right standards, they go, at least fault was admitted, at least mistakes were acknowledged, and they learned from them, hopefully, potentially. And in the future, things can get better. But I mean, well, if you want to argue Lucasfilm is learning, because it is kind of learning quite a bit off of what happened. It's learning a lot off of what happened. And again, it'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out and how things with the Rise of Skywalker turn out. But in the meantime, I agree with Lawrence Kasdan. The studio blew it. Everyone knows it. And at least he had the balls to say it. Anyway, your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you all later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and peace out.